I got my buddy Nix here, and he's going to show us some HTC Touch Pro stuff. Now, some of you may or may not know, but HTC, the high-tech computer corporation based in Taiwan?
Yeah, Taiwan.
They originally started making things like PDAs, now they're making phones and whatnot. They're extremely hackable. My Dell Axum that I've showcased on the show a while back was actually made by HTC, but unfortunately, because it's Dell owned, there's a non-disclosure agreement, and there's not much you can do with it, but we may or may not have showed some Dell Axum hacks. But Nix, why don't you get into some of the stuff you can do with an HTC Touch?
Alright, I recently got an HTC Touch Pro from Verizon Wireless, my carrier. It's a CDMA phone. With the HTC Touch Pro and just about any HTC branded phone, you can, the biggest thing is you can replace the ROM. You can replace the operating system on the phone with a custom one.
Windows Mobile.
Yes, Windows Mobile.
Some of them will run Linux, but that's a completely different thing.
Yeah. This one runs Windows Mobile 6.1. They have some that run 6.0, some that run 5.0.
Yeah, my original Dell Axum X51V originally runs Windows Mobile 5, which, if you've watched previous segments in previous episodes, is balls horrible, because HTC releases their ROM update utility, which is the gateway in hacking HTC devices. The ROM update utility allows you to hack the device, or upgrade, or cook your own ROM, whatever you want to call it. Now, because my Axum is non-disclosure agreement, I don't have the ROM update utility, but the HTC phones, the Touch Pro, the Diamond, the Wizard, the Titan, anything by HTC for that matter,
right,
you can do some pretty crazy stuff with. You can literally, to some phones, especially the Touch Pro, Touch Diamond, Wizard, etc., literally build your operating system from the ground level up how you want it. So Nix is going to go into some of the stuff that he's done with his phone recently.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Well, I just got this phone a few days ago, and jumped on some forums. There's a few websites you should check out if you're interested in doing this yourself. ppcgeeks.com has some great information. XDA developers, and also HTC Geeks. There's ROM developers on the forums. They release their own ROMs, and for download, you can install them on your phone. I tested out several before settling on which one I wanted to run on my phone.
Which one did you go with?
I went with a ROM by Scott Krosler off of ppcgeeks.com. He actually hosts it on. He hosts his ROMs on his own website, scottkrosler.com. But I found out about him through PPC Geeks on their forums.
What made you settle with his ROM over anyone else's?
Well, he was one of the first to provide a ROM built off of the stock Verizon ROM that included a fix for the AGPS access.
AGPS?
Yeah, AGPS, yes.
AGPS is, for those of us who don't know...
assisted GPS. If you know anything about how GPS works, you acquire the satellites and triangulate your position. AGPS is available on a lot of CDMA cell phones, and it uses the data network on the cell phone carrier to download satellite information so that the GPS antenna on the phone knows which satellites to look for. Now, Verizon Wireless locked that down. They locked that down so that you had to be able to use the enhanced GPS services. You had to pay $10 a month for their VZ Navigator software. With this fix, you're able to use Google Maps, Live Search, any other GPS software.
Will the AGPS also give you a faster lock when using war driving programs like Wi-Fi Phone?
Yes, yeah, it will. I can walk outside right now, get a GPS fix in under 30 seconds.
Okay, now, the actual ROMs are built off of stock ROMs.
Right.
Could this actually potentially be illegal, DMCA, copy protection, because in Germany and all that, they've got some pretty crazy anti-hacking laws now, unfortunately. Would be using one of these on your phone in another country potentially be a crime?
Yeah.
Maybe not. So you
Maybe
might
not.
want to look out for that.
Yeah. Now, also keep in mind that with doing this, you could always potentially break your phone. There's always that risk.
Yeah. So accidental insurance. We've been pushing that since episode 1. Can't stress it enough. But a catch-22 is you have to revert your phone back to its original firmware, your original OS. Now, the ROM, or the read-only memory, is where the operating system is contained. Now, you were when I was I've got an HTC Wizard, which is a much older version of one of these, and I've noticed with those there's the IPL and the SPL.
Right. The IPL is the initial program loader that's installed by the carrier, and you're not going to ever do anything with that. That's like the BIOS on the phone. If you fuck with that, you'd probably brick your phone. Now, the SPL secondary program loader is called up by the IPL, and that's what boots your operating system. To replace the ROM, to hack the phone, the first step you do is to replace the carrier's SPL with a hacked SPL, an unlocked version that allows you to update the read-only memory.
Okay. Now, what are the chances of actually bricking? Because I mean, there were a couple of times when Nix was flashing his phone, I noticed that there was communication errors. Now, normally when we do this for the Touch Pro, we were doing it through ActiveSync, but if you do not have Windows, you have Linux, you can do this from SD card. Because I could do that with my Axum.
Yes.
And with the HTC Wizard.
Yeah, there's two methods to flash it. Either you put the new ROM on the SD card and use a utility on the phone itself.
Okay.
To update it, or you can go through ActiveSync 4.5. That's what I've been doing. It's a very easy process. You just run the ROM update utility and follow the steps on the screen.
Yeah. You're going to go and cover the through ActiveSync.
Yes, that's what I'm going to show.
So I really don't know what much more to say. I mean, there are a whole bunch of things that you can do with these phones besides just a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to flash it with something new just because, and they can't fill in that blank. And I mean, you can unlock the AGPS. You know, a lot of people complain that the keyboard lag on that was really shitty.
Yeah, there is noticeable lag on the keyboard, on the hardware keyboard when you're typing text messages or Word documents or whatever. There are ROMs out there that correct this issue. You get a lot faster key press.
Oh, you know, it's something that also just came to mind. Nix's carrier, Verizon, which completely sucks balls when it comes to contracts and whatnot and their bureaucratic bullshit. It turns out that if you install any software whatsoever, even if you don't flash it, let's say you put Wi-Fi Faux Fum on there, or any of the other software that we've covered in previous segments, it voids your warranty. And that's complete bullshit. I mean, so make sure you actually read the fine print of what you're allowed to put on your phone. Because the fact that you have a Windows Mobile device and you're not allowed to put on Windows Mobile software is complete bullshit.
Yeah, definitely check that. Yeah. And if you do return the phone for any reason, I'll cover it later on. How to revert the phone back to the stock firmware, which is available for download on forums for PPC geeks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So we'll get to the.
Let's flash the phone.
Flash the phone.
Okay. Now we're gonna flash my phone with a custom ROM. First thing we have to do though is unlock it. On CDMA phones, you have to install a hard SPL, secondary program loader. With GSM phones, there's something to do with SIM unlocking phones. I'm dealing just with CDMA because that's what I got. First, we're going to put the phone into bootloader mode. Alright, we're in bootloader mode now. You can see that lists versions of certain software on the phone, including our SPL. I'm going to run this utility here, which will install an unlocked version so that we can flash the phone with a custom ROM. This is a vital first step whenever you're going to flash a phone with your own custom ROM. If you don't do this, if you go straight to a ROM, you just may brick your phone. You can find a lot of information on